When I was 3 months old, my mom took me to see an astrologer. She wanted to know what the planets had in store for me. Apparently, I have a lot of planets in my 10th house. That's awesome, right? Anyway, there was one problem: Saturn. Apparently, this placement of Saturn meant I'd fly with the eagles or crawl with the snakes. Now, nothing I did as a child would suggest that I might crawl with snakes. I'm a total goody two-shoes. It's probably because I'm a Virgo. But anyway, starting at age 5 and 6, my mom would repeatedly tell me, "Chrissy, you will fly with eagles," like there was no other alternative. The astrologer suggested that perhaps involving me in some religious activities might keep me on the straight and narrow. So, at age 7, my mom sent me to a conservative Christian Bible camp. I excitedly told the camp counselor all about my astrological makeup. She sat me down and let me in on a little secret. "Honey, if your mama believes in astrology, well then she's going straight to hell." When I got home after that summer, I let my mom know her fate, quoting Revelations as evidence. I didn't go back to summer camp the next year. My mom then thought me spending time with my Canadian family would keep me away from snakes. I spent my summers watching The Young and the Restless with my aunts. There was nothing else going on. But finally, during my 3rd summer, I had a group of kids my own age ask me if I wanted to hang out. "We're going to the gas station to get high on fumes. Want to come? It's cool, eh?" I thought about it. They were getting high, but this did not seem like a flying with the eagles type of activity. I politely declined. When I got home after that summer, I told my mom I was not going back to Canada the next year. I wanted to be at home with my friends. My mom agreed on one condition. "Chrissy, you will get a full-time job next summer, and I picked the place. I'm not going to let you run around and get pregnant or get on drugs." So my mom got me a job at Starship Subs, a sandwich shop 3 doors down from where she worked. I was 15, my title was sandwich artist, and I started at $4.25 an hour. I was so official, I even got a royal blue t-shirt with a sandwich in the shape of a starship on the left-hand sleeve. It was awesome. Now, after a few months at Starship, I fell into a routine with everybody else. I did all the work, and my coworkers would drink and smoke pot in the back. One night, I overheard my coworkers yelling and laughing with each other. Apparently, one of them had lost their joint. I finished up what I was doing, said goodnight, and left. Not my problem, snakes. The next day, I was on a shift with Henry. Henry was the owner. I hadn't been on a shift with Henry since my first day. Officer Johnson, one of our regulars, came in. "Hey, Officer Johnson, catch any bad guys?" "Hey, Chrissy." He just laughed at me, just the usual on garlic bread. Now, to make a sandwich on garlic bread takes skill. You have to spread the garlic sauce on the bread just right so you get a taste of garlic in every bite. Officer Johnson always raved about my sandwiches. He was gonna say this in front of Henry. Henry could only report back my awesomeness to my mom. This was my moment to shine. I cut the bread, I took the plastic bottle, turned it over, and tried to squeeze out the garlic sauce. But nothing happened. I turned the bottle over again and squeezed. Nothing happened. Officer Johnson asked if there was a problem. "No problem. Garlic sauce hasn't had its morning coffee." I thought I was funny, nobody else did. Anyway, I turned the bottle over, said a small prayer, and squeezed as hard as I could. Out popped a joint onto the police officer sandwich. Before I could stop myself, I yelled out, "Oh shit, it's a roach." Which then prompted Officer Johnson to lean across the counter, asking if we had an insect problem. Henry looked totally confused. He grabbed the sandwich and slowly brought it to his eyes. The confusion turned to anger. He closed the pot sandwich, shoved it into my hands, and waved me away. He then turned to Officer Johnson saying, "How about a free sandwich on the house?" Now, my facial expressions give me away. I looked down, smiling so no one could see. My coworkers were going to be in so much trouble. That's what you get, snakes. Anyway, Officer Johnson left, and Henry came to find me. And he looked pissed. "You were on the closing shift last night. You let this happen." I decided to enlighten him about what was really happening in his restaurant. Wait a minute. I was up front wiping down counters. Everyone else was smoking pot in the back. I was glad I cleared up this misunderstanding. But he still looked angry. He looked at me and said, "Oh, I'm sure you're such an angel, Chrissy, that you weren't smoking too. What, do you think I was born yesterday? You're lucky I'm not firing you." It was rough. Later that night, my mom came to pick me up. I got into the car. My mom could see I'd had a rough day. "What's wrong, Chrissy?" I could barely put a sentence together. "Mom, I almost got fired today. I didn't smoke the pot. Mom, I was flying with eagles. I work in a den of snakes." My mom looked at me and just laughed. She said, "Chrissy, I never said flying with eagles was going to be easy. We all work in a den of snakes sometimes. Get over it." And then she changed the subject to what we were having for dinner. I was fuming in the passenger seat. There was only one thing to blame for this: fucking Saturn.